Let's be honest, we've all been burned by anime that start strong, but crash halfway through with terrible filler arcs, rushed endings, or episodes so bad they make you question your life choices. But these 10 legendary series? They're the holy grail of perfection. Every single episode delivers killer storytelling, stunning animation, and pacing so tight you'll lose sleep binge-watching. No dips in quality, no cringe filler, just non-stop greatness from opening scene to final credits. Whether you want mind-blowing action, heart-wrenching drama, or laugh-out-loud comedy, these flawless picks won't waste a single second of your time. Get ready to meet your next obsession. These are the 10 anime that never miss. Imagine heading back to your sleepy island hometown for a funeral and discovering it's basically ground zero for a supernatural nightmare. That's Shinpei Ajiro's reality in Asterisk Summertime Rendering Asterisk. He returns to Hitogashima to mourn his childhood friend Ushio, who supposedly drowned while saving a kid, until he spots suspicious ligature marks that scream murder. Cue the creepy twist: the island's crawling with shadows. Perfect doppelgangers that copy people down to their memories, then replace the originals permanently. Oh, and they follow a malevolent deity named Hiruko. Just when things can't get weirder, Shinpei learns he's stuck in a death and rewind loop. Every time he dies, he respawns at an earlier point, memories intact, a cosmic save scum mechanic if there ever was one. Armed with this morbid superpower, he starts playing 4D chess against the shadows, gathering intel and trying to stay one agonizing step ahead of doom. Each loop peels back another layer of island lore, reveals fresh horrors, and cranks the tension to 11. With time running out and the body count rising, Shinpei has to outwit copycat killers, uncover what really happened to Ushio, and stop an apocalypse on island time. Mystery, horror, mind-bending sci-fi. This series throws it all in a blender, hits puri, and serves up one slick thriller you won't forget. The Promised Neverland starts off like a picture-perfect storybook. Grace Fieldhouse is basically orphan paradise, happy kids, yummy food, and a super sweet mama named Isabella looking after them. There's just one weird rule: don't go past the gate. Naturally, something shady's going on. Enter Emma, Norman, and Ray, 3 brainy kids who start putting the pieces together after Connie, a sweet little girl, gets adopted. They try to sneak her toy back and instead stumble upon her dead body in the back of a truck. Yeah, hard left turn. Turns out the orphanage is actually a gourmet farm. The kids? Just high-grade demon snacks. That's right, Isabella's been raising them like veal with extra homework. Once the trio finds out, it's game on. What follows is a high-stakes mental chess match between the kids and the adults, with escape as the ultimate prize and the clock ticking fast. With terrifying secrets, betrayals, clever strategies, and moments that'll have you yelling at your screen. This anime balances heart-pounding tension with big questions about trust, survival, and freedom. If you're into kids outsmarting monsters, both literal and metaphorical, The Promised Neverland delivers a smart, emotional roller coaster that never lets up. Welcome to Night City, where neon dreams meet corporate nightmares. Cyberpunk Edgerunners zeroes in on David Martinez, a broke genius kid scraping by at a ritzy corpo academy. One tragedy later, he's got nothing left to lose and everything to prove. That's when he finds the Sandevistan, a Black Ops spinal implant that lets him move so fast he practically blurs. Goodbye honor roll, hello outlaw life. David plugs in, cranks the speed to max, and dives straight into the city's chrome-addicted underbelly. He teams up with a ragtag crew of edgerunners, high-tech mercs living gig to gig, and instantly sparks with Lucy, a ghost quiet netrunner who'd rather hack your brain than talk about feelings. Together they pull off heists, dodge megacorp death squads, and stack eddies while bolting cyberware onto their bodies like aftermarket car parts. But every new upgrade chips away at David's sanity. Cyberpsychosis always looms, turning chrome junkies into walking murder machines, and the megacores would love to dissect him for research. Between poverty, power trips, and corporate crosshairs, David's racing to carve out a name before Night City grinds him into recycled metal. It's loud, it's flashy, and it proves that, in this town, glory always comes at a brutal price. Moriarty The Patriot flips the script on classic Sherlock Holmes tales by putting the spotlight on the mastermind himself, William James Moriarty. Set in Victorian England, where the rich trample the poor like it's a national sport, Williams had enough of the corrupt elite and decides to fix society his way by murdering it better, literally. Alongside his 2 equally brilliant brothers, Albert and Louis, Moriarty uses his noble status and razor-sharp mind to become a crime consultant, designing a elaborate schemes that let the lower class take revenge on their aristocratic abusers. Think DIY justice, but with tailored suits, dramatic monologues, and bloodstains. His goal? Burn the class system to the ground and build something better from the ashes. But chaos doesn't go unnoticed for long. Sherlock Holmes comes in quirky, obsessive, and just as brilliant, who starts sniffing around the mysterious Lord of Crime. What follows is a gripping, cerebral showdown between two intellectual giants with wildly different ideas of justice. Moriarty the Patriot serves up classy crime, epic moral dilemmas, and more psychological chess matches than you can shake a teacup at. It's stylish, sharp, and asks the big question, what if the villain was the one actually trying to change the world? Go! Loser Ranger throws a massive wrench into the whole good guys versus bad guys Super Sentai formula, and it's hilariously refreshing. Imagine being a disposable foot soldier in a cheesy Power Rangers style show, but 13 years after the big war. You're still stuck playing the same losing role every Sunday like it's your 9 to 5. That's the reality for Fighter D, who's had it up to here with the same old song and dance literally there are crowds watching. Turns out, the big bad villainous army lost ages ago, but instead of being wiped out, they were forced into a weird PR deal, stage fake battles every week, so the flashy heroes, the Dragon Keepers, can keep up appearances and rake in the hero worship. But D isn't content with being the punchline forever. Nope, he's cooking up a revenge plan. With no real powers, D sneaks into the Dragon Keepers organization using his shape-shifting skills, undercover as a new recruit. From there, it's sabotage, secrets, and exposing the dark truth behind these so-called heroes. It's part action, part comedy, part rebellion-fueled chaos, and it flips everything you thought you knew about Sentai on its head. World Trigger is like chess if the pieces had laser swords, portals, and were constantly under attack by aliens from another dimension. Set in Mikado City, things get wild after a mysterious gate opens and lets in some seriously freaky invaders called neighbors. Naturally, humanity panics until a slick organization called Border shows up with high-tech weapons called triggers, which basically turn you into a walking sci-fi action figure, powered by inner energy called Trion. Enter Osamu Mikumo, the guy with a heart of gold and the Trion output of a dying battery. He's a trainee at Border, but things get spicy when he meets Yuma Kuga, a pint-sized transfer student who's actually a humanoid neighbor with a monster of a trigger up his sleeve. They team up with Chica, a sweet girl who could probably power a small country with her Trion, but has issues pulling the trigger, like literally. Together, they form Tamakoma 2 and take on Border's intense battle ranking system while chasing their own missions, like saving friends, protecting the city, and maybe unmurdering a dead dad. What makes World Trigger awesome? Strategy over brute force. Every battle's a mental showdown, and the teamwork is top tier. If you love smart action, this one's a gem. Imagine a school where you can buy snacks, game consoles, and probably your self-worth with a bunch of school-issued points. And it's all part of the curriculum. Welcome to the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing School, where the government basically grooms future elite members of society. Sounds like a dream, right? Not quite. Behind the glossy brochure is a ruthless system that ranks students from Class A, which is the top dogs, to Class D, aka the Misfit Zone, and it's survival of the smartest. Enter Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, a guy so under the radar, he practically blends into the background. But don't let the dead-eyed stare fool you. This dude's a secret genius with the emotional range of a brick and the strategic brain of a war general. He's in Class D, not because he belongs there, but because he wants to keep it low-key, maybe for now. Alongside him is Suzune Horikita, a social skills disaster with a determination problem, and Kikyo Kushida, a sweet angel on the outside and possibly a retard inside. This isn't your average high school anime. It's full-on mind games, hidden agendas, psychological warfare, and manipulative power plays. Basically, it's Death Note meets Mean Girls, but with more math. Welcome to the most cutthroat classroom ever. Imagine Snowpiercer, but make it anime with zombies, steam-powered weapons, and a whole lot of screaming. That's Cabanery of the Iron Fortress in a nutshell. The world's gone to hell thanks to the Cabane, terrifying undead speedsters with glowing hearts of iron that are basically bulletproof. One bite, and you're the newest member of the Zombie Apocalypse fan club. To survive, what's left of humanity chills in fortified train stations and travels via armored, steampunk locomotives called Hayajiro, because apparently, trains are the only safe way way to commute now. Ikoma comes in, a scrappy steam tech nerd who's had enough of watching people get eaten and decides to build a heart-piercing gun and DIY infect himself to study the Cabane up close. Yep, this guy's got mad commitment. When the Cabane crash a train into his station, all hell breaks loose, and Ikoma ends up half Cabane himself, becoming a super-powered hybrid known as a Cabanery. He links up with Mume, a tiny but terrifying fellow Cabanery girl, and they hop aboard the Kotetsujo with a handful of survivors, including a noble with nerves of steel. It's blood, steam, and badassery as they roll across the wasteland, trying to stay alive and maybe figure out just what the hell happened. Hell's Paradise is what you get when you toss ninja assassins, death row inmates, and nightmare fuel into a blender, then hit Paris. Set during Japan's Edo period, the story centers on Gabamaru the Hollow, a legendary assassin who's so good at not dying, it's basically a superpower. He's over the whole murder machine thing and just wants to kick the bucket already, except no execution method seems to work. Awkward. Sagiri comes in, a badass sword-wielding executioner from the Yamada Asaemon clan, who gives Gabimaru an offer he can't refuse: travel to a cursed paradise-looking island and retrieve the mythical elixir of life. If he survives and finds the goods, then full pardon. Sounds simple, right? Spoiler, it's not. This paradise turns out to be a horror show of giant man eating flowers, sentient meat puzzles, and immortal freaks. Gabimaru gets thrown into this deathmatch alongside other charmingly dangerous criminals, each babysat by their own executioner. What follows is a non-stop roller coaster of bloody fights, existential dread, weird plant gods, and deep thoughts about life, death, and redemption. Think Survivor, but if the island wanted to eat you and your teammates were serial killers. It's brutal, philosophical, and ridiculously cool. In the top of the list is none other than Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It kicks off with a bang, literally, when two genius alchemist brothers, Ed and Al, try to do the unthinkable: bring their mom back from the dead using alchemy. Spoiler alert, it goes horribly wrong. Ed loses a leg, then an arm for good measure, while poor Al loses his whole body and ends up as a soul trapped in a massive suit of armor. Casual, right? To fix their very cursed situation, Ed becomes a state. The duo sets off to find the elusive Philosopher's Stone, but instead of just a shiny miracle rock, they uncover a whole mess of government secrets, creepy artificial humans called homunculi, each repping a deadly sin, and a centuries-old plan to basically sacrifice the entire country. Along the way, they cross paths with flamethrower-wielding Roy Mustang, vengeance-powered Scar, their childhood friend mechanic Winry wielding wrench-based Justice, and their terrifyingly jacked mentor Izumi. There's laughter, heartbreak, explosions, and deep questions about what it means to be human, all wrapped in killer animation and brilliant storytelling. It's got everything: alchemy battles, dark secrets, brotherly feels, and life lessons wrapped in emotional gut punches. Absolute must-watch. Looks like those days of getting picked on are over. You've officially transformed into a total badass. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button to show some love. And don't forget to subscribe so you catch all my new uploads. If you think I left out any awesome anime that deserves a spot on the list, drop your suggestions in the comments, I'm all ears. Or just share your thoughts about the video in general. I always appreciate hearing from you. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.